Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create an image map using transparent buttons in Microsoft Access. Now, this is going to be both a beginner and a developer video. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to show the beginners how to do this simply, and then after that, I'm going to show the developers how to do it with a little bit of code. And of course, the developer version is a lot more powerful and still pretty simple. Now, Access doesn't by itself support something called an image map. What's an image map? Well, you've probably seen it on web pages where you can click on different parts of a picture and it might take you different places. For example, you click over here, it takes you to Washington, right? You click over here, it takes you to Washington. The other one, click here, it takes you to Kansas, right? Maybe opens up a list of customers from that state. Something like that, right? It's basically a response based on where you click in the image. Well, Access doesn't natively support that, but putting transparent buttons over the different states, we can do something very similar. So let me show you how. All right, so here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database you can download off my website if you want to, but it doesn't matter for this example. So we're just going to go to Design View on my main menu here. I'm just going to delete everything on this form because we're not going to use it. And I'm going to put a picture here that I want to make my image map. Now, how do you get the picture? Well, I'm just going to use like Google Maps or something like that and grab a copy of the United States. All right, here's Google Maps. I'll zoom to right about as big as I want that to be. That looks like a good size there. I'll use my screen capture tool. Now, I'm using Hypercam. You can use Windows Snip and Sketch if you want. If you don't know how to take a screen capture, go watch this video. You'll find a link down below. All right, so I'll use my Hypercam and I'll try to grab it as close as you can to the edges there. Looks good, right up to there. Try to get Miami in there. Okay, and snip. All right, so I got that on my clipboard. Back to my database, click there, hit paste, Control V, and there we go. Nice image on the form. We can save that now as my main menu, close it. And now when I open it back up again, there we go. It's basically just an image on a form. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to drop some command buttons on here. All right, right up here, command button. Drop it, let's do Oregon. I'll click and drag right there is where I want my button to go. All right, the wizard opens up. If you've never seen this wizard before, go watch my video on command buttons. I show you how the wizard works and all kinds of cool little tricks with that. We're going to pick form operations, open a form, next. What form do you want to open? Let's say the customer list form. Next. Now, here's the key, and here's why this is much better with a little bit of programming, because right now, without programming, the command button wizard has a way to find specific data, but you need to have a linked field on this form. All right, so you're going to have to pick open the form and show all records, and then you're going to have a separate form set up for each state if you want to do it that way. Okay, not very efficient. That's why this works better with a little bit of programming. But let me finish this and then I'll show you the better way in a minute. All right, so open the form, show all the records. We're going to basically delete the caption anyways. Just pick text, next, give it a good name, and we'll just hit finish. All right, now here's my button right there. And you can delete that caption if you want to. We're not going to see it anyways. All right, click on the button itself. Now, this is a bit of a bug in Access. Watch this. If I click over here and then click on the button, I'm still not getting the button. That happens sometimes. So what you got to do is right-click on the image, go to Position, and then Send Back. And that should send it behind the button. And now, I still can't click on it. Look at that. I still can't get it. See? Close, Save Changes. Let's open it back up again. All right, there's my button, by the way. Click, and it opens. All right, let's go back to Design View. And then click on, now I can get the button. See? It's a bit of a glitch in Access. You're not alone if you have that problem. All right. Sometimes you can send this to the back and then you can click on this. Sometimes you can't. Like you just watch it happen to me. Attention Access team. Fix that. There's also a problem with list boxes that happens with too. Okay. But now that we got the button, come over here. All right. You could change the button's name. You can call it Oregon button or whatever you want to call it. Right. O button. I don't know. All right, but here is the transparent property right there. Set that to yes, and now all you'll see is the outline of that button. Okay, save it, close it, open it back up again. And now if I click on Oregon, boop, there's my form. See? So now you could put different buttons around this map to open up different forms. But again, like I said earlier, that's not very efficient. What you want to do is you want to click on the button and maybe pass a parameter like what state you clicked on, right? And then open up that customer form and show just customers from that state. That's what you want to do. And that's why you need a little tiny bit of programming. Literally, just a little tiny bit, one line of programming, but you got to know where to put it. All right, so now here comes the developer part of the video. Don't be frightened if you've never done any programming. Go watch this video. It's my intro to VBA. It's about 20 minutes long. It will teach you everything you need to know to get started with VBA. You know, it's not hard, folks. It's really not. Once you learn a couple of commands, your Access databases go to a whole nother level. All right, so go watch this and then come on back, and I'll show you how to do this image map properly. All right, so let's go back into design view. Just delete that button. Just get rid of it. All right, let's start over. You ready? Button, drop it there, cancel the wizard. We don't like that wizard. All right, once you know how to program, that wizard is unnecessary. All right, so try to get the button over as much of the state as you can. Again, I'm going to delete that caption. We don't need it. Okay, and give it a good name, right? Oregon button. That's why I didn't waste time putting a good name in it before, because I knew I was deleting it. All right, set it to transparent. And now here's the key. We're going to right-click on the button and go to Build Event. That puts us in the on-click event for that button, right? Oregon button click. And in here is where you put your openform command. All right, I'll slide this over a little bit so you can see it better. All right, here's what it's going to look like. Do command.openform space. What's the form name? We're opening up our customer list F. That's my customer list form. It's a continuous form. You just saw it a minute ago. It's got all my customers in it. But I want to limit that list to just customers from Oregon. Okay? Now, there's two ways you can do it. You can do it with a filter or you can do it with a where condition. I personally prefer the where condition. That's just me. So I'm going to go comma, 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 and put in here state, state. That's a field in the customer table, state, right? Equals, and you want to put in here Oregon like that. But Oregon itself is a string, so it has to be inside of quotes. And in order to put quotes inside of a string, you need two double quotes, like this. Okay? Some people use a single quote. I like to use the double quotes. Why? You guessed it. I got a whole nother video on that topic. How to use the double quotes. And I also have another video on why you should use the double quotes and not the single quote. Okay? So go watch these if you want to learn more information about that. Okay, so back to my code. We're going to basically open up the customer list F and show only the records where the state equals Oregon. All right? Save it. Back over here, we're going to close it. And if you're wondering what this is, by the way, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, this is my quick launch toolbar, and I simply put a button up here that opens up the main menu. That's all that does. Okay? Go watch my blank video where I show how to create the blank template. Okay? I'll put a link to that down below too. Anyways, ready? Click, and nothing. You know why? Because I don't got anybody from Oregon on my database. Let's open up the full customer list and we'll cheat. We'll just change a few people. There's Oregon. Is it Oregon or Oregon? People that live in Oregon, how do you say it? I don't know. All right, I just made two people from Oregon. Ready? Click. Boom, there they are. See that? How cool that was? Put that over here and save it. If you move a form and save it, Control S, it usually locks in the position. Usually. And that usually only works with forms. It doesn't work with queries or tables. All right, let's do another one. Let's do Washington, right? Design view. Now that we already have one button, we can just copy and paste it, right? Control C, Control V. And then we'll slide this button up here over Washington. All right, try not to overlap them like that. All right. We'll call this one. Let's call it WABTN. You should be consistent. I know I typed in the full Oregon for this one, but probably a better name would be OR button. But here's the thing. If you click on this one, if you change this, watch this. If you change this to OR button, okay, right-click, build event, you just unlinked it from the previous code. Okay? A lot of things in Access, like if you rename a table and you've got forms or queries that are based on that table, Access will rename them for you, usually. But VBA code does not work that way. All right, so if you rename an object, any code under that object is usually unlinked. So I'm going to just cut that out and put it down here. It's good to stay consistent. If you're going to spell out the name of the state, do it for all of them, which I don't want to do. So, all right, so we got the Washington button. Right click, build event, and we can just copy the same code right here, right? Control C, Control V, and change this to Washington. You more advanced users, if you want to make a function out of that, you can just pass it the state as a variable. You could do that too. I'll cover that in my full VB course. Anyways, save it, close it, open it back up again, click on Washington. Boom. There's a couple of people from Washington. Isn't that nice, right? Now, obviously, with some states like California, you're going to need multiple boxes, right? I'm not going to go through and do them all, but, right, you're going to have a box up top here for the top of the state. Put another one kind of down below it, like that. And yes, it's okay if they overlap a little bit. Don't overlap another state, obviously. But you're going to want to try to get, like, usually what I tell people to do in this case is, instead of trying to cover the whole state, just cover where the name of the state is and tell your user to click on the name of the state. It makes it a whole lot easier than trying to make buttons that cover the entire outline. Our states are weird. Why do they have the shapes that they have? Who knows, right? So just try to get that over the name of the state. There you go. And if you want to do one box, let's say you're doing zones, or you've got, like, specific regions for your sales reps, and this is to pick a sales rep. Let's say you got one sales rep that does both Dakotas. Okay, you could do this and drag it down like that. Okay, or let's say you got, like, New England over here, right? Slide over here to the right. Let's say one rep covers all of New England. You could make this box cover, let's say it's Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. All right, those three states are all in one region. Okay, so we'll make this the MEVTNH button. Okay, right click, build event. Now you got to change your criteria just slightly. Copy that, paste it up here. All right, it's going to be state equals Maine, and then right there, or state equals Vermont. State equals VT, or state equals New Hampshire. See that? That's how you put multiple criteria in there. You'd think that would be and, right? You want to cover Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, but you got to think how the computer thinks. The computer says, okay, I want to show all customers who are from Maine or Vermont or New Hampshire, because no customer can be from Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire. See how that works? I know a lot of times you got to kind of think backwards. But now if I save it, come back out here, close it, open it up, click. I don't have anybody from any of those states. What's going on here? Let's cheat. I'll be from Maine. I love Maine. I used to vacation to Maine every year. And this one will be Vermont, and this one will be Vermont, and this one will be New Hampshire. Okay, ready, click. There they are. Isn't that special? Now, for you advanced users, instead of using transparent buttons, you could actually use the mouse down event for the image itself to get the XY coordinates where the person clicked on the map. It's a lot more complicated. Let me delete these. Actually, I'm gonna leave these buttons in here for you guys. All right, I'll put this database up online for the gold members. But the image itself can tell you where you clicked on it, right? The XY coordinates of that image. All right, I'm not going to cover the full thing now. I'm just going to show you briefly how to do it. Let's name the image. I don't like OLE Unbound 16. Let's call this let's just call it the map image, map IMG. Okay, now go to events, go to on mouse down. Okay, this happens when you click the mouse and the mouse button is pressed down. ... Okay, you can get what button was pressed, whether or not the shift, control, or alt keys were clicked or were held down when the user was clicking, so you can get like a shift click. And then X and Y are the X and Y coordinates. So in here, I can say message box X and a space and Y, and you'll get the XY coordinates where the user clicked. Save that. Okay, open it back up again. Now if I click here, boom, that is location 4725 by 2445. right? Click over here. Boom. That's location 180. That's the X, and then 4470 is the Y. It's from the left and top. Now, using this data, you, the developer, could go and click on all the different spots on the map and make like 4 corners or locations, or just even click on the names themselves, however you want to do it. And you could store these coordinates in a table and build your own image map if you wanted to. If you really want to see how this is done, let me know. Post a comment down below, and I will cover this in one of my Access developer classes. All right, it's going to be a little bit too advanced to do in a tech help video, but I'll put this in the next developer lesson if you guys want to see how to do it. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, so if not a lot of people want to see this, well, I'm not going to waste the time on it. But if you really want to see it, put a comment down below. But there you go. That's how you can basically kind of sort of build an image map using Microsoft Access and transparent buttons. That is going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum. We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.